excellent movie that is so much fun to watch.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy? Excellent movie that is so much fun to watch. And we just want to start this with just remembering our friend Dave Oliver from Savage Zombie Reviews.
So thank you for inviting me, because it's an absolute honor, because I think of this film, I think of Dave. I also think of him, like I said, was for me as well, like I said before, Street Trash and Basket Case are films I think of related to. So it's an absolute honor to join you on here. And I was going to say exactly the same thing. So that's awesome. And it's like I say, it's an absolute honor to chat even for a minute about Dave.
Of course, man. But when was the first time you saw this film?
So, do you know what? I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure the first time it really resonated with me was, strangely, and I said this to Dave too, like I said to you before, I've got a friend called Dave, and during lockdown we were watching horror movies together over Zoom. And it was before I'd done anything on YouTube as well. And we started watching all the Henenlotter films just because we saw Basket Case, and we were expecting, we usually just watch bad movies, but we watched this one, we're like, actually, this isn't a bad movie, this is a fucking amazing movie, this is like insanely good. And then we just went down that path with Basket Case 2 and 3, Brain Damage, Frankenhooker. It was just like such a journey, and I absolutely love. And I know I said Bad Biology is a bit different because it's a little bit more grisly, and a little bit
it's
more serious, I guess.
Realistic, weird than
it's not my favorite. Yeah, it's not my favorite Henenlotter. He's not made a bad film. Frank Henenlotter is, in my mind, never made a bad film.
And he's one of those directors that like Coscarelli, that if they didn't make all those movies that they've made at the time in the years they made them, they probably never would have made those movies. They had the most perfect opportunity and the right timing to put out the films that Coscarelli and Frank Henenlotter respectively put out. Because you couldn't make any of those other films at any other point in history, in my opinion. Like, they just always had that perfect luck of when they decided to do another project.
And don't you think as well that with like Phantasm and Basket Case, they're the best, obviously the best films in the series, but they're the ones that are maybe like obviously the lowest budget of all of the series because they are just making their name in filmmaking. They are sometimes a little bit more serious in tone, and then that things go a bit wild and crazy, and the other ones, they're just as much fun, but just in a very different way. Like for me, you could put like Basket Case, Phantasm, Reanimator, all of those are like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 films, but made on such a shoestring, but look so amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is so dirty, grimy, like Maniac from 1980. It really captures how New York City was back then. The grimy, disgusting, burning barrels with fire for homeless people to survive in the night and the winter and shit. Like, all of that, they capture so well. The guy who goes up to him at the main character at the very beginning, and he ends up going and starts rattling off every drug known to man and trying to sell him on all that. It's hysterical, this movie, but I'm ready to go when you are. And
I'm ready, man. I've got my VHS and DVD, but I'm watching it on streaming. So I'm ready.
I'm definitely watching it on Shudder right now. 3, 2, 1, go. Which it starts off that this film is from the collection of the Museum of Modern Art, which is great to know that this film got in there. Which, speaking of rated 18 and like unrated movies, I just read on Instagram, Terrifier 3 has now become the most high-grossing unrated film in history.
Ooh,
which is fucking unreal.
I won't see it until it arrives on my doorstep, but I'm looking forward to seeing it very much. I literally put it this way: I've just got Maxine to watch this weekend, so that's how far behind I am with how For me, that's quite new, as you know. Isn't it funny, like, if you just gave these a straight review, like, you'd have never have guessed from watching this that we're going to go into almost like musical theater, really over the top, silly.
More
they're just as much fun
in the watch-alongs and as in my videos, and that's fucking saying something.
Yeah, like when
No,
you watch the second one of this and the third one of this, and all those other characters that pop up, and the weirdness of the world. Yeah, it's building its own universe before people said this was a universe. You know, before people were like, this is the expanded universe. This was actually doing that. He's so creative, though, isn't he?
Oh, he's one of the most out there creative directors, I think. This guy. The film was Waffles. I know the film was originally titled Belial, and they ended up changing it to Basket Case. I'm glad they did. As much as we were just saying backstage how we love the name of Belial, and Matt can't remember how to spell it out.
I always think, is it an E-L or A-L? There's no permits or anything here, just wandering the streets, filming it.
This is what I'm talking about, with this guy going up to him.
Yeah.
And he starts rattling off every drug ever manufactured and sold illegally in the whole country. I got rock, I got red, I got junk, morphine. You like some? I got nice girls too.
Methogen.
That in. And it's
Panama Red.
Being a New Yorker, it's not that far off. It's really
What's not. What was Panama Red? I've never heard of Panama.
Panama Red was an old strain, like in the 70s, 80s of pot from Mexico.
Oh, okay.
From Mexico.
It sounds very
Panama. And then the Acapulco Gold from Mexico, I think. There was like all these old famous strains back in the 70s.
Going loco down in Acapulco.
Oh, I've heard over the years, just random info.
This guy makes this guy in the hotel, he makes Sipowicz look clean cut.
Yeah, I know. It's that's another thing. It's just the grungy griminess to the hotel too, which is expected for this time in New York City.
You couldn't have a set like this because it's a real place.
yeah, absolutely is. I don't think you can make the set look as dirty. Grimy New York City.
It's impossible.
If it was, it's not.
Yeah.
It's just so authentic because it's right there. This was shot all over. I think this was also shot. I could be wrong, but like Maniac was shot like guerrilla film style, and going in without permits and stuff throughout New York City. I think they did that a little in this movie also.
Yeah, they did. They definitely did. I saw a documentary about it. Yeah, and he didn't pay a thing other than for a couple of the rooms in the hotel. I think the guy he is the manager, isn't he? Or he is the actual manager or something of the hotel. This backpack and jacket reminds me a bit of American Werewolf in London.
Oh yeah, I can see that bit.
American Belial in New York.
Well,
look at Duane. Look at Duane's hair.
I was just going. Yeah, that said, I love how
Brian
just
May.
Like a minute ago, how the switch to the next scene, that cut, how it flips. It's like a flip cut. When it goes to the next scene, that's a cool shot.
It's simple, a lot of the stuff, isn't it? But it's so creative. Even the way the basket's shaking.
And the stop motion in this movie is excellent. I still think it holds up to this day. I mean, it's stop motion. It's supposed to look that way. That's what stop motion is. Like, you can't make it look much better than that. And I think it holds up, and it works with the tone of this movie too.
I have also got a Spanish basket case poster that I'm getting framed.
That'll be cool.
So that's my brain damage. It's not the actual original thing, but I just love the artwork on it.
Oh yeah, it looks great. I love the subtle comedy in this movie with the names of the doctors being Needleman and Cutter, and I forget the other one, but like that, it's so on the nose, but it's silly. So perfect for this movie. And
you need silly stuff in horror. Would take it too serious. Some people do take it too seriously, man. It's like it should be fun as well.
Absolutely.
There's a room for fun horror.
Absolutely, there's a huge list of some of the best that are horror comedies and have a lot of humor in them.
Oh man, yeah.
Doesn't always have to be a serious film and stuff.
I'll tell you what, though.
That's why talking about those different types of movies is very different. If we're talking Suspiria or like The Thing and Halloween and stuff like that, it's like real actual film analysis and stuff. And if I'm doing a video on the movie,
like Sleepaway
movie, you're getting half and half. You're getting a bunch of movie logic defying stupidity called out that I know doesn't matter because there'd be no movie, but you're getting it anyway. And then you're getting little bits of film analysis. So it's like depending on the film.
I was just thinking about this film in particular, like watching the three of these films. My word, does the guy who plays Duane, he really ages a lot quickly. Like he's so baby faced in '82.
His character changes a lot too.
Yeah, and by the early '90s, he looks old. Like, I mean, I guess it happens to us all, but you know, his was on screen.
Dang, it is a cool kill here.
This doctor is like the most unlikely looking doctor you've ever seen.
Yeah, no, he doesn't look anything like it.
Sat there eating his chicken, and like I say, I'm pretty sure he ate a chicken wing and just swallowed the bones, you know, and he's got all chicken juice all over his fingers.
Oh, wait, that's not the kill scene. That's when he first visits. This girl is so into this guy so fast. Like, it's not even funny. She's like saying, you haven't, in a minute, she goes, you haven't been to all these places. You haven't been to visit because it's his first time in New York. And she says, you haven't seen the Empire State Building. You haven't seen the Twin Towers. You haven't seen any of this. And then, and then she just throws her number and address at him and says, like, let's meet tomorrow. She goes all right for him.
He's the only sweet boy in New York, and obviously guys who carry baskets around with them all the time are very attractive. Hence, or guys that live in baskets like me.
If you're not having success in your dating life, guys, carry around a basket or live in a basket. It'll help you 100 times, 100% of the time. If you
I'm the advert for baskets. Yeah, I'm the advert for basket success rates.
Your love life will explode.
Oh, wow! Oh my word! I can hardly keep up.
Well, and it doesn't have to have anything in it. It can just be an empty basket. Just the intrigue alone.
Or just sit in a basket and go like this. The ladies love it. It's cute.
And the effects, the gore effects in this movie still hold up very,
very
well.
Man.
The kills are great in this.
Oh, for sure.
Once you get, though, to part 2 and 3, like I said, I love those movies, but they are some of the most insane sequels ever made.
Silly,
like OTT, to a horror film.
They're like, it's like musical theater crossed with horror, crossed with like a weird kind of gang show.
Yeah, I love the flickering. I love the flickering there while he's dozing off. The movie again, like watching a movie like this and carrying the bag. There's little moments where I think, it reminds me a bit of American Werewolf. I can see. Yeah, that's right. He goes into the porno theater.
Yeah, that's very like his eyes. I wonder if they've painted black around his eyes because it's very silent film.
Yeah,
kind of look. You know, he's like his eyes are very expressive.
This guy's breaking into the basket. Can't do that.
Yeah, what a mistake. What a mistake it's a maker.
Here we go.
That's what you get for stealing. Must be the only guy who's ever stolen anything in New York, do you think? There's not a lot of crime there, I'd imagine.
No, there's none, actually. It's actually getting much better. It's getting much better.
Oh, that's good.
At least that guy got away, though. I mean, he got his face slashed and shit up, but besides that...
There's I just jumping ahead a little bit, but somebody's done an animated Belial picture, like a cartoon from a made up cartoon series. It looks good. I would watch that. I would definitely watch that.
Oh, absolutely. This is a great scene.
I've got a little bit of trivia for this film. Do you want to hear some of my trivia?
Absolutely, shoot.
So, in one of the scenes, Duane calls Belial Duane.
Does he?
Yeah. And he meant to say he did this intentionally because he thought that like he would be getting confused between Belial is Duane and Duane is Belial.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and in 2017, the reason that it's got the Museum of Modern Art at the front is because it was selected by New York City to restore and preserve this film, and he gave the 16mm to the museum, and they restored it, and now it's a permanent part of their museum's collection. So if you could go to the Museum of Modern Art, you could go and touch the
16 millimeter. You look at it, maybe the 16 millimeter of basket case. Which
won't be the first time that I've touched something that's 16 millimeters.
Yeah, right. That's a good one. Well, now you made me forget what I was going to say because that joke was great. Oh yeah, no, there's no way any of it makes sense anatomically.
So there's a link. There's a link to Hammer Horror as well because I can't remember who O'Donovan is, but I read that O'Donovan on his wall he has the Collinson sisters from Twins of Evil on his wall. Yeah.
Yeah, the effects here are great with the blood on his face when he scratches that. Now he's digging into his stomach. You don't see his stomach getting digged into, but that blood is squirting like crazy.
Dexter would be having a field day with all that blood spatter.
I love Dexter.
You're more interested in checking out Duane's wieners.
Yeah, he's got just taking them and shoving in that basket. This guy, Belial, eats like fucking the entire pack of hamburgers.
I identify. That's why I like him. That's why I'm his twin brother. I'm the same. This is how I eat.
Is that how you eat? You just rip open a bag of hot dogs and shove that shit down your throat?
I can't just eat one.
That's the way to do it. You have to do it that way.
That's the way to do it. So Henenlotter wasn't sure how funny to make stuff because he said he wasn't quite sure what he was doing. So he was like, if it was funny, he let it be funny, and if it wasn't funny, then he made it more shocking.
Yeah, it shows because especially compared to his later movies and the sequels to this is a much more serious. I mean, as serious as you can get with the premise alone. Take on all this because then the sequels go way out there.
Yeah,
this still maintains creepiness to it, and
they're fun.
Good dark atmosphere to it.
Fun is important. Who's Terry Susan Smith in this film? Is she the?
I could not tell you. She might be the Dr. Cutter.
Right, because she was bald apparently and wore a wig for all of the film. I'm still going through my trivia.
That's the Statue of Liberty.
The money that Duane gets out at the beginning, where they're like, "Hey, that guy's loaded," is all of the money for the whole film. That's the entire budget for the film.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Of course, yeah, it's his face, isn't it, for the cast of Belial? So it is like Kevin Van Hentenryck's face, just all mashed up. The only funny bit, unintentionally funny bit, I think, is when Sharon does get killed. I remember that in the background, she's still breathing when she's dead.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
That's a fun little fact that I've heard about, and I see it.
Watch out for that, guys.
I mean, that's a disturbing scene right there. I mean, later on, when she basically is getting sexually assaulted by Belial. Yeah, like that's some shit you don't see in movies.
There's always one bit in a, like, whether it's the blowjob scene in Brain Damage or something, or multiple bits in Frankenhooker. That is sometimes, I think, the bit that maybe puts people off because I
can see it.
Alongside the silliness, right. They're like, ha, they're like, ha 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 ha. Oh, and then they go, oh no.
Exactly.
So, like, for me, I kind of take it both at face value and think like it's just like a platter. And if you don't like a certain bit, it doesn't mean you have to throw the whole platter away.
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree 100%. And I love that shot of him when he just finally first comes out and you see the puppet him in the basket.
I feel like he should be like doing jazz hands, like.
Yeah, no, his design is so good. Stop motion there is great. I love the stop motion. He's destroying the whole entire apartment, hotel room. Well, I guess
what's going on in there?
No, it's more about
just wrecking up the whole place, man.
And everyone in this place comes up to
and
see what's going on.
they're all such interesting characters as well. Like they're all such interesting. You wouldn't
one
see extras that look as strange as these guys in films now.
All Emmy Award winners. Types of personalities.
They're all Emmy Award watchers.
Yeah, exactly. Basket Case is actually less ridiculous than Malignant. I agree with that. I did not like them. I did not like Malignant.
See, the reason I like Malignant is because it reminds me of Basket Case.
I can see it. I mean, it does. It's very reminiscent.
The first hour's a waste of time, but then once we get once we know it's on
act of Malignant is good.
It might be the only thing that those guys have made that I like.
Yeah, it's not great still for me, but it's pretty good with the whole last act, the last half hour. So the whole rest of it is just not good. I do not like Malignant. Basket Case any day over Malignant.
So first, you're not interested in DD5, and now you don't give a damn about Malignant. Man, I don't know if we can continue this friendship.
Yeah, we gotta end it.
Because like Malignant for me is like the greatest. No, it's not. I don't. I couldn't even finish the sentence.
That looks great. His face,
especially because he's like all mauling with him. He's got his fingers in his mouth.
Yeah, he's at this point. He's just like mouth fucking him.
It's like if somebody gets like a strawberry sauce and just massaging it into somebody's face.
Lathers your face with it.
Look how Duane runs. He runs like Phoebe from Friends. I think he looks a little bit like Mr. Cooper from Night of the Living Dead, the guy that they've just killed.
Yeah, they've sliced up right there. Yeah, definitely.
I hate Mr. Cooper. One of the most loathsome characters.
Oh yeah, I know, right? You just want to be done. Yeah, the neighbor.
She's. I don't know if I think she's passed away now, but she is everywhere. Like, for a period of time, she was keeping the Basket Case name going when nobody was really talking about it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell just by her performance that she had a blast, like being a part of this movie.
Oh yeah. It's film critic Rex Reed said this was the sickest movie he'd ever seen. Which is hard to believe.
Reed has not looked out enough for other horror films.
Or Rex Reed, that sounds like a familiar name, but I don't know.
Rex Reed. Yeah. What's our boy's name who passed away? Why do I always forget the name? For Asbestos Felt.
Asbestos Felt, yeah.
Yes, this is also the stream's also dedicated to Asbestos Felt.
Rest in peace.
Away recently.
Ironically, it was asbestos poisoning that got him. No, it wasn't.
Are you serious? No, okay.
No.
I was gonna die laughing, and that would have been.
I was trying to keep a straight face. I was mean. I thought it was.
Yeah, no, that's why. And then I saw you start smiling at the end. I said, "Get out of here."
I'm a bad boy.
It's so hokey, but it looks still great.
Cool.
Like it just
the shirt makes it.
The movie.
The lady who's coming in with this, she looks like you say you only hear what you want to, or a very stressed Tina Fey, like very upset Tina Fey.
See, one of them shows that there's a little concern and saying, I think it's his dad, right? Saying that they're saying we don't have time, and he's asking like maybe we're rushing things, we're going too fast, like before separating them.
Oh wow! When Duane was a boy, he looked a bit like what's he called, Borat guy, Sacha Baron Cohen.
All right, I see. He's behind the railings right now, the stairs.
He's like, I like you, Belial, my friend.
Very nice. And that's a great way of shooting that too, because you don't see him get cut in half. There's no gore effect. They probably didn't have the budget to do that type of effect. So you just see it shot Dean Cundy style, like by the legs, and then they fall apart and like vivisect. You don't see any blood really. That's a cool way of doing a kill like that. When you don't have the budget, especially.
It's a strangely shot one because you get a POV from like you're not supposed to be seeing it. I think it's quite well done. It's like probably the most
I like the
gentle.
panning.
Yeah, it's like one of the most sensitive, gentle bits of the film after all the blood and guts everywhere.
Oh, this is a flashback showing how the aunt always cared for Belial and didn't see him as a monster, and then we didn't see him as a monster, saw him as her nephew, and Duane's brother, and took care of him after they threw him out that night, those evil doctors, and then she died, which is sad. But then that's why I like 2 and 3, because I forget the actress and the character's name, but the main woman who has the freak house and houses all the deformed people and stuff, that's like the same type of role as Duane's aunt, and I think that plays well.
Yeah,
why he comes to be involved with her and likes her.
No, you're right. You're right, and one of the reasons I think that is even more complicated is because she's looking after them all, but she gets to the point where she thinks any decision she makes for those characters is the right one. She doesn't let them kind of choose for themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whereas like the aunt, selfish control.
Yeah. I can't either.
Third one. But I do think that she's a really interesting character, but she just tips over, doesn't she, into selfish control. Yeah. It's interesting though. I think
she gets corrupted, her
exactly
her morals and everything. Because at first she is all for protecting her family.
Yes.
She calls them.
Yeah. And then when the babies start popping out, then
I was just thinking of that. I was just gonna say it too. The babies.
The babies is just
sanity.
So good, so funny.
Yeah, we definitely
little baby Belials. Do they all get names? I can't remember. I don't think they all have names.
I know, but they were counting them and stuff as he came out, and it gets up to 12, I think. Like they have. That's too funny.
Yeah.
And that's a scene in 2 when is it in 2? I think it's in 2 when Belial's fucking the female Belial that looks just like him, and that's a disturbing scene. Even though it's so hokey and fake looking, it's just the thought of it. It's just like, how does that work? And like, how is this? What the hell am I watching right now? Is the main thought.
Why does everybody live in hotels in New York? Like, it's the same people every day.
This is like a hotel that like you can rent for like by the week, because the Duane I think rents by the week at the beginning. So every week he's gonna pay him. So it's basically like an apartment, but it's a hotel, like slum apartment complex.
And they're all nice to each other as well, which is quite funny. They're all like looking out for each other. Look at that clock. That's so funny. That smiley face clock.
They're all just, people trying to survive in fucking early 80s Manhattan. So they all.
She's like, you can sleep on my couch.
The rooms here and shit for long term.
I wonder what the smiley face imagery is. You've got a smiley face clock. The lady that's just been traumatized, she's got a smiley face shirt on. It's probably just complete random. There's probably no.
If I made a movie, that would be the answer. It would be just complete randomness, but like things all over the place. But then I would have things make sense and use symbolism and stuff. And then I would just put random shit just to mess with everybody, kind of like David Lynch, like that. That's fucking great.
It's always like we say. It's when he's sticking those fingers in their mouths as well. It makes it
he's trying to mouth fuck them.
Very invasive.
Ripping her mouth from the inside.
Yeah.
But this is great. I don't know how he's putting so much pressure on this grown ass woman. She's not a thin, tiny woman. Like
you feel like a judo throw,
average size woman. But Belial's got that super strength that he's able to push her all the way down.
You feel like she should just
this shot right here.
Or run into the wall. If you just run into a wall with him and just squish him into the wall, maybe.
With her scream, with the scalpels and shit stuck in her face, that goes on for a while. That's so cool.
Clive Barker was watching this, going, "I've got an idea for this character called Scalpel Head."
That's great. Like, how the fuck did they do that creepy shit?
Oh, do you think she's the lady with the wig? Do you think this is the lady with the wig?
That's what I was thinking. You know, after you said it, I was stewing on it. I was like, because they showed her in the scene right after that. I said, that
it's lovely, but it
looks like it could be a wig, and it does.
It's very glossy, isn't it? It's very glossy and shiny.
Yeah.
But compared to everybody else who's very grimy and
Dr.
dirty.
Cutter, who I said she's older, and that looks like her actual hair. Dr. Cutter. This one looks like a wig.
Oh, it's so sweet. Their little relationship's very sweet.
Yeah,
but like you said, she fell in love with
a raper.
Well, she felt no, that's true. She probably just best leave him alone. She fell in love with him very quickly.
That's what I said at the beginning. I said she is for this guy at fucking second one.
Do you think it's because there's not many?
Where I live.
She's probably just only had sleazy guys coming into that hotel for about 10 years, and then he's the first sweet guy. That's just a rumor.
Well, I'm saying she gives her number and address to him so fast, and he's some strange guy who just showed up in New York a day ago. I mean, it shows how different it is back then with trust.
He just turned up on the back of a pumpkin truck, you know, just like wanting to make his name in New York City.
That's funny. Yeah,
I'm walking here. I'm also from New York. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm like,
he does a great British accent. Does a great British accent, and he keeps it up like it's his fucking job.
I'm like, what's this guy doing over here? Polly Walnuts.
Never brings character from his British fake accent unless he lets his New York shine, like right there.
That's it. And then I'm like, Christopher Moltisanti, what are you doing here, man?
I've been rewatching some episodes of The Sopranos.
Nice. He's an interior decorator for the Russian government.
One of the greatest dramas, TV series.
Oh, we should watch Pine Barrens, the Pine Barrens episode. We should do a live stream. That's one of the best hours of TV ever.
That's a great idea. We should do that. I've been wanting.
I have one good idea every year.
Yeah, I give you like 3 or 4, maybe.
3 or 4, okay.
Try not to be to put an accent and just use my own accent. And someone like bumped into me, I wouldn't say this to them, but if I had to use that line, it would sound probably like, "Hey, I'm walking here." Like, that would be, I guess, the most natural way of me saying.
But this guy.
But if it was someone being a prick, it would be, I'm fucking walking here. Move. Like, it would be something exactly like that.
Excuse me, young fellow. I'm walking here.
Yeah. We don't talk like that in New York. It's really well done in the disturbing.
I've seen worse. I've seen worse.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you have on a daily basis.
When I look in the mirror in the morning, this is what I see.
Is that what you see? You see?
Yeah, I'm like,
you see yourself being raped by Belial.
I'm like this. Yeah, I'm like this. And then I just look down. It's my own arms. I'm like, what are you doing?
The way Belial grabs her tits and stuff, and it's fucking weird. And then he starts thrusting.
Again, it's like he's like
what is he
this.
Thrusting?
He's just going through the motions.
Belial don't have a dick that we know of. He has a flat ass bottom of himself.
He's got a flat bottom, so we can stand him up, so he doesn't topple over.
Exactly. Where's that dick coming from? Or is he just grinding like a puppy? He just likes to grind up against it.
He's like, there ain't nothing wrong.
You gotta probably. This guy hasn't thrown this motherfucker out yet, mostly just because he has a ton of money, and he saw
exactly
at the beginning that Duane has.
He just pops his head round. He's like, everything okay here? Yeah, it's fine.
But in any normal situation, this guy would have been thrown out of this place when Belial
wrecked
the room.
The weird thing is, this does have a bit of a strange kind of reference to the One Direction guy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like going crazy in a hotel.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. How weird. I hadn't intentional.
That's with the half-twin deformity that'll lift you up by the testicles.
Well, we don't know the full story, JT. We don't know the full story.
I'm watching it.
No, the full story. What happened to the guy? He might have had his own Belial. So I feel bad for saying that now. I feel like I'm being flippant.
Nah, great.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the end here. When he falls to his death. Oh, supposedly at the end of this movie, they're both dead as fuck, so I don't know. Later, the second movie, what do they get recovered real quick by the woman and brought to a hospital?
He's walking it off.
Yeah.
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Or if you're Art the Clown, rub some salt on it, you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way, you'll be good.
What's the purpose? Oh yeah, I was just going to say what the purpose of that guy's suspenders, but I guess it's to hold his trousers up.
I would guess. I mean, that's usually what those are for.
Yeah, I was just thinking like aesthetically, what's the purpose? And then I was like, oh no, they do actually have a purpose, which is he's quite a chubby guy and he needs his trousers to stay up.
That's funny. Yeah, this is such a fun movie. This is such a blast, and we went off topic so much in this, but that's something that me and Dave would do all the time. And like I said, it's a blast watching this movie that we both think of, Dave, when we think of this now.
Yeah, for sure.
Hope you're resting well, brother, up there. We missed you. But that was Basket Case, 1982. Absolutely have to do a watch of 2 and 3 now. I mean, how do you not?